Oh, banter, banter. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Beryl.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
What are we talking about today?
We are going to talk about chemistry.
Chemistry. You know, my daughter is taking a chemistry class.
Shout out to your daughter.
Yes. So
The
I'm going to
hard
share
things.
all of this with my daughter.
Okay. And hopefully some of these resources might be useful to her.
Yes, or her class.
You got my questions and you don't want to guess. I got a recommendations and that I can suggest. Yes, this library questions are a part of the quest. Here's Beryl and Lauren with instruction request.
Hey, Ospreys. I'm Lauren Odom, the instruction librarian.
And I'm Beryl White-Bing, the virtual learning librarian.
Welcome to Instruction Request, where we talk about common research questions, helpful resources,
and the latest in technology and what's going on in the Virtual Learning Center at the Thomas G. Carpenter Library.
All right. So,
what are we talking about today, Lauren? We got to make this interesting because this is a library podcast.
Yes.
We need everybody to watch.
Okay.
To learn about the resources in the Thomas G. Carpenter.
To learn about all the things that we have to offer. And we have quite a few things to offer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's going on in instruction. How has it been going in the fall semester so far?
Oh, well, fall semester has been going like gangbusters. Before I turned around, it was winter break.
Yes.
Not winter break, fall break.
Yes, it's been going by very, very fast.
Very fast. I've had so many research consultations.
Yes.
Way more than I've ever had in a long time.
Yes.
Plus, we've been doing drop-ins, librarian office hours.
Yes, our open hours are a go every week.
Face-to-face research consultations going on. It's been gangbusters.
It has been a busy semester so far.
Plus the research badge.
We did launch our research badge this fall, and then we had a graduate class actually was assigned to complete the research badge. So that's not something we were expecting, but we were more than happy to have them. And so that really kept us busy with research consultations.
Yeah.
All of us were getting consults because initially, the last section of the badge called for scheduling a research consultation with the librarian just to show and prove that the knowledge that they acquired during the badge, that they could execute a quality search. And the students have done well.
They really
to
have.
The point where we actually had to make a few changes to that rule.
I know. There's only, 7 of us?
Right. There's only, a handful of us. And so we no longer require a research consultation. We do require that students upload a screenshot, and we will give feedback on the back end to trigger that badge. So congratulations to, I think it was almost 50, about 49 students, or 59 actually, that have completed that badge so far. So we're very happy for
some of those badges I would like to take.
Same.
I think so.
I think we should.
Well, they're for students. Yeah.
Learning is continual. Knowledge is forever. So today I wanted to go over a research question that we've actually been getting in our library chat. And so today we're going to talk about citations using the software RefWorks. Now, are you familiar with RefWorks?
I am. Actually, I had a class today, a religious class today, and and I showed them how to, the only thing that I know how to do in RefWorks, I know how to sign into it.
Okay.
Create a folder.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how to go into OneSearch and the databases and have it automatically import into RefWorks. And then I also know how to use RefWorks in Word to write and cite.
Absolutely. So RefWorks, for those who may not know, is a citation management software that allows you to organize your research, and you can create a folder and put all of the articles and materials that you have found in your research process in one place, and it will actually generate your citations for you. Now, you do have to check. We always, always, always have to encourage you to double check your citations for accuracy.
That's true, because today, the professor today, we were citing in Chicago style, and RefWorks put the article in, but it put the full range of the articles, like say page 1 through 10, but he wanted his students to only put the page where they got their information. So they have to go in and edit it to put the actual page number where they got their information from. But
yes, so that's very important. And I highly recommend the OWL, that is the online writing lab at Purdue, for the reference by which you can check those citations for accuracy. But RefWorks is a great tool, and it allows you to build out your your bibliography, works cited, or your reference page, depending on which format you're writing in. And it also build out your in-text citations. Most of the time they are inaccurate, but remember, this is a tool. So the question that came through today was about duplicates. How do you merge or delete duplicates in RefWorks? So what might happen, as Beryl mentioned, RefWorks is integrated into OneSearch, and it's also integrated into all of our databases. And what that means is when you're looking for resources, you can send that article, that book, or whatever the resource is, you can send it to the RefWorks platform by logging in, and it'll run in the background. And so there's not any additional steps that you necessarily need to take.
Now, several databases don't have a RefWorks button.
Reference.
And what I suggested for students to do is to copy the title of the article that you find and put it back into OneSearch and search for it, and then it will import from OneSearch into the database, which works out great.
That's a great piece of advice.
If you don't see the export to RefWorks button or RefWorks button, if you just copy the title and put it in OneSearch and search for the article, you can put it into RefWorks from OneSearch.
Actually, that's probably the easiest way to do it. The other way to do it is you can download it, and then you can upload it into RefWorks.
Yeah, but that's a little tricky.
If you need help with any of these things,
I have the cheat codes. It's called Beryl. I have the cheat code.
Schedule a research consultation with your librarians if you're having issues with any of these things. But so back to the question, how do you merge duplicates? So because RefWorks is integrated into Microsoft Word, into the Microsoft Word that is offered via Office 365 through your MyWings. So this will not be on the app on your computer. This will be through your Office 365. When it is open on your Word, it is located in the right-hand side of your page, and students are finding that any articles that are duplicated are still appearing in the Microsoft Word. And so I wanted to walk through how to get rid of those duplicates. So I actually have a screen recording that we're going to have Andy pop up onto the screen for you all to follow. Thank you, Andy. Once you are logged into RefWorks, you will want to go to the Duplicates drop-down menu on the left-hand side of the page and click on Find Duplicates. Here you will want to make sure that your match settings are set for references must match exactly and your primary reference determined by completeness. Then click Find Duplicates. Click OK to start the deduplication process. The time it takes will depend on how many references you have in your list. Once that search is complete, it may take some time. You will click on See Results. I've already gotten rid of all of my duplicates, but you will then have the option to delete those duplicates. Okay. So once you do your duplicate search and deduplicate in RefWorks, when you are in Microsoft Word, make sure that under the All References drop-down menu, you are working within that folder that you have saved all your resources in, and then you should no longer be able to see those duplicate references there.
And one great thing about using the integration into Word is when it goes to make your bibliography or your reference list or your works cited list, it will only cite those references that you used in your paper. So
Yes.
when you write your paper and it's, all your in-text citations are done, when you hit bibliography, it's only going to cite the references that you have used in your paper. So that's another way to get rid of duplicates.
Yes, that's
Hey, I
very
got
true.
the cheat code.
See?
I
Schedule
have the
Beryl.
cheat code. Yeah, talk to me.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
So next we're going to talk about databases. So today we're talking
Databases.
about chemistry.
Chemistry databases.
And we are going to discuss the chemistry database called Scifinder-n.
Never used it.
It's actually a really nice database. And so we're going to show you how to access that database.
Hit it, Andy.
To access the Scifinder-n database, you will go to the library webpage at unf.edu/library and click on the database list link next to the OneSearch search bar. Here you will click on the subjects drop-down menu and go to chemistry, then click search. Next, you will go to the Scifinder-n source here and click view more. Then go to Scifinder-n user registration to create an account, as you will need an account to use this database.
You said you were having trouble with it at first?
I was having trouble with it initially because when I went to access the database, I went to click on the database name as you normally would.
Yeah.
But with this particular one, you do have to register and make an account first. So it's very important to click that view more link.
Oh, okay.
First.
Okay.
If you click the name of the database and then
Right.
try to create an account, you're going to run into,
So the view more tells you how to create an account?
yes, you
Okay.
must click view
Yeah.
more first.
That's important on all of them. We need to talk about one day all of the newspaper databases that we have where students can create accounts
You can create an account.
and get, free access to the New York Times, free
Yes.
access to the Florida Times Union, Jacksonville Business Journal, all of those newspaper databases. So maybe Scifinder is exactly the same way.
Yes, and you will need to use your UNF email address because that shows that your relationship with the university grants you access to that
And going back
resource.
to RefWorks, you have to create an account in RefWorks using
Absolutely.
your UNF email address.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
same thing with Gravity Sketch that we talked about last week. You use your UNF email address to access all of the educational grant license tools that
Right.
they have.
And that is a one-time registration, so you will not have to do that every single time.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
Okay.
So I really wanted to show how the interface looks and some of the things that you can actually do in Scifinder. So we have one more recording to show you. So take it away, Andy. This database will allow you to search for substances by keyword, substance name, registry number, and other identifiers. You can search for substances, reactions, references, and even suppliers of a particular substance. It will also keep track of your search history. All right, so we hope that you make use of the Scifinder-n database.
I'm going to send it to that biochemistry professor who
Yes.
came by, who was supposed to bring his students to the VLC, but has not gotten around to it yet.
Not yet.
But I'm hoping he will before the end of the semester.
Yes, it's an excellent resource, and I think it's really cool that you can actually look up suppliers of a chemical or a substance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that's really cool. So, but let's talk about, we're gonna switch gears and talk about what's happening in the VLC.
In the VLC, before we get into what's happening in the VLC, well, this might not broadcast before, hopefully it'll broadcast before the 31st. We have decorated the VLC
Yes.
like a castle. So if anyone wants to come by and dress up in their Renaissance garb or medieval garb, or you want to pretend to be a Targaryen or something, you can come by the VLC and take pictures because we have a castle set up in front, a castle backdrop set up at the VLC.
Fun
But
stuff.
in the VLC, going along with your chemistry databases, I want to talk about a VR experience that we have, that is a free experience, although it does have a subscription plan that we could purchase. But right now we only have the free version. It's called Nanome VR. So Andy, if you would put the screenshots up, this is what it's called. I say Nanome. Some people might say Nanome, but I say Nanome because it sounds cool.
Okay.
Nanome is a tool for research and education, but it's a VR program where you can visualize chemical substances or build them.
Nice.
It also has simulations of chemical compounds and proteins and nucleic acids. You also can collaborate remotely in real time.
Nice.
So that particular biochemistry professor, we were talking about all of his students. He has like 40 of them. And we were talking about all of his students being able to go in and look at a chemical compound together or a molecule or whatever it was he was studying together and be able to manipulate it and see what happens with it. Educators at top universities and researchers use this particular database. And the thing about it is we used to have a subscription to it to have, extended privileges. But unfortunately, we didn't have anyone to use it. So we lost the subscription part, but we still have the individual part that is free. And the individual part allows you to load structures from RCSB, which is like, I guess, the chemistry place. And you can host public workspaces.
Nice.
Do basic molecular views, and you can load only up to 2 molecules at a time. But who wants to look at a whole lot of molecules? I mean,
Maybe a scientist.
A scientist, maybe.
So is this a view of what it looks like for a user in VR?
Yes, in VR, this is what it would look like. You can, like I say, you can load structures from RCSB, host public workspaces, and do all of that for free. But then they also have a paid version, which may give us more educational type things. They may have limits on how many people can be in there at one time for a free version. But if you have the paid version, then you might be able to have a whole class in there.
Okay.
But that means that I need a commitment from faculty who want to use it.
And any students, if you are a chemistry major, a biomedical sciences major, or if you're taking any sort of courses that require you to take chemistry, please stop by the VLC and use the Nanome VR experience.
Yes. And there are other chemistry applications out there. Meta has a whole list. They have Nimbus Chemistry, Ebers Chemistry, Chemistry Lab VR, the VR Chemistry Lab, and then Meta Horizon, which is a metaverse, which is like a space that you all can go to at one time, has 3 worlds. Chemistry World. They have a hidden chemistry game that you can play in Meta Horizon, and also a hidden chemistry 2.0 world that you can go to. So it's tons of things with chemistry.
A lot of
resources to engage students, not to replace instruction, but just to engage people and have them have fun with chemistry.
Yes.
In a safe way.
Yes, in a safe, there you go. That's very important. Very important. So yes, faculty, please encourage your students to come to the VLC.
Yes.
Please feel free to bring your classes to the VLC for an instruction session, or possibly maybe even assign it as extra credit.
Yes. I mean, all you have to do is email libraryvr@unf.edu. Shoot me your ideas and say, what can you do for me? I hear you talk about chemistry. I heard you talk about art and history. I heard you talk about engaging students. What can you do for my class? Just shoot me an email, libraryvr@unf.edu.
Yes, we are here for you.
Okay,
So,
next week.
what are we talking about next week, Beryl?
Next week, we're talking about art, history, and humanities.
All right.
That's what VR was made for. Art,
Fun
history, and
stuff.
humanities, really.
You know, I have, and we'll talk about it in the next episode, but I have had the experience of doing like the BBC, the 360 in the I don't even know which headsets those. I think the Oculus VR. And that was pretty fun, like going to Medellin and Spain. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it for sure. All right. Well, thank you for listening and joining us on this episode. Just remember that you can schedule a research consultation and you can always schedule
an instruction request.